What is the gray state? Are we living in it now? Are we headed towards it? When we survey the American landscape, symptoms of it appear everywhere. But do we really notice? Do we really care?
We're here with Chuck Baldwin, and you saw the Gray State trailer.
I saw the trailer. I thought it was fantastic. I really hope they can get the money together to make that movie.
Amy, so I want to ask you, have you heard about the Gray State Movie Project?
Yes, I have. Who hasn't? No, it's awesome. I'm super stoked. I can't wait for it to get made and get put out and let the world see what really happens if we fail here today.
This is going to be a movie.
Yeah.
It'll be in all the theaters, right? Good for you guys. Congratulations.
Mainstream media, in effect, has usurped our traditional heritage of storytelling as a means of passing on our culture. As an anti-culture, all we have are movies. So the mainstream media, in that usurpation of that, they've been able to dominate what we see and hear and what we pass on to our children. So imagine if we get a film like Gray State showing in a 1984 sort of format certain consequences of failure to embrace liberty.
Oh, dude, is it like a narrative?
The movie?
Right, yeah, it's not like a documentary.
No, it's an actual movie.
I think that's an important distinction to make, is that it's not a documentary. Where a documentary will pander to a certain crowd who already subscribes to those beliefs, this is a narrative film. It's a literal movie you're going to go to the theater and see. So just imagine the possibilities there.
The point is that this is where you're actually able to reach people. And a fictional account of near future paralleling reality, I think, is a great way to go.
It's definitely, instead of just being just an action film, it's definitely more of a narrative film, character-driven piece, and that's what we're sticking to our guns with on it.
Yeah. Holy crap, guys.
That sounds really good.
That is pretty intense, bro.
What do you think about that? That's pretty good.
Definitely. It's something that, I feel that can really unite everybody, especially if they see the real life of what can happen.
I think so. Yeah, I just saw the trailer just a few days ago, and I really liked it. I hope it spreads.
Look at the trailer for this. It's stunning. I've described it to people when they ask me what it's about. I say, well, it's kind of like Red Dawn if instead of the enemy being the Soviets, it was FEMA.
Do you think that a movie like this could unite all underneath one kind of idea to be able to overthrow this tyrannical government that we're facing?
It's entirely possible, man. I mean, television, movies, film, media do have that power to kind of, that subversive element where you can watch a movie, suspend disbelief. In this case, there's not much to suspend. This is all happening. So, but yeah, absolutely. I think movies, music, art, very, very powerful to promote messages of liberty.
If everybody could see something in a storyline in a movie and be like, wow, like the Hunger Games thing, the V, and all those other previous movies.
Yeah, a few years ago that was crazy science fiction. Now it's almost foreboding.
Right. Well, then no one goes there, but that's where it goes. That's possible.
You piece it together and you move music around, and you can still move and educate. And you can piss people off, but you won't really scare them too much. You're watching someone get their head beat by a cop. But when you think futuristically, George Orwellian kind of, how bad could things get? And if they escalated a couple more steps from where we are now, even though it may not be there on the surface, what would be the final straw?
I want to get it out there and get a reaction, let people see it. I thought it was a good trip.
It's awesome.
I don't want to wait 2 years because that might be coming a lot faster than you think.
Exploring a scenario like this from the current paradigm is the only way that you can do it, but it's a very important exercise to look forward and consider that possibility with the hopes of averting it. But at the same time, you have to look at that and go, holy fucking shit, we're halfway there.
You just got through watching the trailer for Gray State, and to be honest, it pisses me off that the country's come to this, but both myself and my best friend here are combat Marine veterans, and we're not going to sit here and just take this lying down.
How many here have seen the Gray State trailer? That is what's coming down the road. Now, why do I sound so urgent? You know what the NDAA is, don't you? It is the Declaration of War on the American people. That's exactly what it is. Authorizing military force, that's killing you, military detention, and military trial or rendition to some foreign country. That is exactly the kind of abuse of power that led to the first American Revolution.
What we're
seeing is that it's a split between patriots and loyalists. This is what's happening across the country. People are choosing sides right now. You know, the people who will, you know, just do what the party wants and do what they're told and vote the way they're told, and they just keep voting for the machine.
Despite what people might think, this is actually a lot closer to happening than everybody really believes. Everybody labels us as conspiracy theorists, but that's just because people are stuck in their own denial and they don't want to believe that something like this can actually happen to them.
When you guys decided to do a serious movie that's literally going to scare people, let's face it, it's going to scare people. You look at, you know, Germany and you go, it didn't happen in a day. And people that have survived that and lived to talk about it go, it didn't happen in a day. And if that person saw your movie, they'd be nodding going, yep, yep, yep. But we don't know this.
I think that we have no idea what happens in a monetary collapse. And that's where we're headed. The government would have to prop itself up, and it would be through a police state.
And at very minimum, I see this as an awakening just because it might get people to start preparing. You know, at least because the future is uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And most people have less than weeks worth of food in their house. It's true. I mean, we have a monetary collapse. What's going to happen? Stores are going to shut down.
Right, what happens when those trucks stop rolling,
Right. It changes people's outlook on what does transpire. Empty shelves.
What do I think? About damn time. And it needs to show some of the blood and guts in there because most people haven't got that much perception of that. That's what'll happen.
But the feedback has been divided, as we knew it would be, because there are people who are like, wow, someone finally is doing this. The rest of the people are like, I don't believe in that. So this is going to be a stupid movie.
No. That can't be real, so it's going to be a terrible movie. So I don't want to hear anything about it. But I wonder if they thought the same thing about Toy Story. Like, hey, toys don't talk. This movie sucks.
And that's just good for us, because if they can't accept that it's that close to their reality, that if it creates that negative reaction, well, that's fine. That's fine. That means that we're doing our jobs.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, it shows economic collapse, takeover, people being rounded up. All those real preparations are being made. So regardless, you know, I mean, just the trailer you've made helps give people kind of an image of where this is going to go. If we just decide that anything in a uniform's God, well, the corrupt system will take that as a signal to move forward.
If that's gray state, we're already at light gray state, you know, and it's all shades of gray, right?
The true reality of what can take place. Yeah, I mean, when people have no idea, and nor do I. And this is your project.
It's David and Mitch's project.
Yeah, but it raises that awareness.
I mean, just by looking at the trailer, the concept is awesome. The message of the possible loss of freedom here in our country is something that a lot of Americans just don't like to come to grips with. That this movie would help them realize what is at stake and the consequences of it.
It's coming. It's coming soon. And when it happens, nobody's going to be ready for it.
It's going to be so brutal because we don't pull any punches. This is not our game to pander to the lowest common denominator. We're going to make it as brutal as we possibly can because that is the reality we're facing.
And it's up to the people to help us out.
Believe me, the trailer is kick-ass. And I mean, if you were to walk in a movie theater and see a 2-minute trailer and it was a hack job done by crappy editing and lousy CGI, you would go, what's this piece of shit? That's not what you will say when you see the 2-minute teaser. And well, the reason they put that together and they did that hard work is because, again, these guys got to do it on their own dime, and that means we can help them out. Maybe, you know, Bubba listeners and, of course, Dangerous Conversation and Radio Isle listeners can hit their website, get on that PayPal, or we'll find out how they can drop them a dime or two.
So if you go to indiegogo.com/GrayStateMovie, you're actually buying something. You're going to get these shirts, you're going to get some props, you're going to get posters, but you're going to contribute to the film. And the number one thing is that we need all of that grassroots support to funnel into something like Indiegogo so we can actually harness on the hype while it's there.
What do I think? Yeah, let's get her out. Let's not hesitate.
When did you guys start working on this?
2 years ago.
I was going to say,
you guys need to get that funding so you can make that.
That's why I'm here.
Well, no, the fight is at its core spiritual, and you'd have to be in deep denial and delusion spiritually now to not know that the shadows are getting long here.
I know that I'm speaking to people who are awake, and I know that I can count on your support. Gray State has already been described as a prophetic look into a terrifying future, but I appeal to you here today to help us prove them wrong. through our united effort, we keep this film in the fiction section.
Every new person we reach is a new network. Out of every 100 people who see the trailer, maybe one person chips in $5. And so if we get the trailer seen by 1 million people, then I'm not too good at math, but that's probably $10 at least.
Google Gray State movie, definitely. Google Gray State movie. It's gonna be awesome.
We gotta hurry up and get this going because I want to be alive when the shit goes now. The anxiety's getting to me. I know they got a few more stints they can put in me and a few other things to prop me up, but I'm tired of monkey shitting around. Let's get her done. You don't stop. There ain't no way.